Hello, welcome to the Museum of Brisbane. My name is Renee Grace, I'm the director here. Today we have a special treat where we're inviting Simon Cleary to read an extract from his piece from the Storytellers exhibition, All Around Us Where Creatures Graze. I would like to first begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of this land, elders past, present and emerging, and their significant contribution to the Museum of Brisbane. And also thank you for joining us. StBEIF's Energy Fund were fantastic in enabling us to share this incredible moment with you. We do encourage you to call in and see the exhibition, The Storytellers, so you can really witness how fantastic it is. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce Simon Cleary. Thank you.
I am a joey returning to its mother's pouch. Did I tell you that? You don't believe me? No? Let me try. Please, hear me. I yearn for warmth and a press of flesh and the throb of heart and flowing blood, for one of four hidden teats dripping warm milk, my fertile imagination. I am, despite the years of practice, an anthropomorphite, though a humble one, or so I tell myself. Sometimes, though, I doubt the power of imagination. Try again. I am a kangaroo, the last of the family, the eastern grey branch of the family, Macropus giganteus. I am the last eastern grey. Well, here at least, on this site, where tens of thousands of years of grassed eucalyptus forest country has been replaced by metropolis. They name a finger of land after me, Kangaroo Point. See how it's singular, not Kangaroo's Point, but just one, kangaroo. Well, let me tell you, I was that kangaroo. Am that kangaroo. Ask about it. Go on. Ask when, where. Ask why. I dare you. You may recognise the morning, though you may not be as young as the boy is. You can probably remember being 13 and dragged from bed, your father roughly pinching your ear. The winter solstice, though, has passed, and the year bends towards light. Still, it's cold at this hour and dark. The house is filled with conflict, grumbling adult voices, your older sister's fierce silence, and you, well, you're too young to understand that you're not the cause of your parents' resentment. Your breeches are tight and your bare hands are cold as they grip the axe handle. And that's a cockatoo screeching in the east, a fleck of gold in the pre-dawn sky. Your father calls out one last instruction as he passes you at the wood heap, his boot fall heavy on the track that will take him to his butcher's shop where he'll work his blades. You know that this is your last year of schooling, and soon you'll stand beside him, his trade, yours. Jack! Jack! Your mate's out of breath from running up the hill. A roo, he pants, down in Wickham's yard. What? A kangaroo! Quick, come quick. You know what your schoolmate wants, and you desire it too. You prop the axe against the wall beside the back door and you hurry inside. Your mother looks up at your urgency while your sister studiously ignores you from the kitchen. Your friend leads you. He slows, and so do you. You've taken the gun. It's over there, he says, pointing. The sun is ready to burst over the horizon. Perhaps the dawn has chased the animal, or, if your friend has imagined it, its spirit away. There's a moment of doubt. Your mate steps forward and utters a clicking sound, imitating them as he'd been taught on hunting expeditions that you had no interest in. Sure enough, a dark head rises from the grass. 2 eyes, 2 twitching ears. What do you know of kangaroos? You've seen them brought in for your father to butcher. You've seen them from a distance out on Cal's plains. Well, this one, its head seems small. Perhaps it's a female, but you're no expert. but you're downwind, which is lucky. You can't risk a shot from your father's rifle from here, so you move forward slowly. It watches you. You gain yard after slow yard, and it remains stationary as if fixed. Perhaps it is only a statue carved from the stump. You stop. You swing your gun carefully so its barrel rests on the railing of the fence. You lower your head to the sight. The echo of a single gunshot, louder than if there'd been a volley of rifle fire. You appalled silence. The boys approached the animal, lying on its side at the tip of Kangaroo Point. Their hearts race. The boy with the gun arrives first. His mate knows to allow the shooter this much. A shooter. A marksman. That's what he's become. But the boy with the gun isn't yet thinking about his father's praise, or his standing among his schoolmates, or even about skin and meat. He kneels and bends his head. There's blood, and there's a twitching forepaw, once, twice, and then no more, as the sun halted its rising too. The boy wants to touch the animal's nose, but he can't bring himself to. Then, movement. A small paw reaching from its mother's pouch. A jump. The boy lays aside the gun and reaches out, two-handed, frightened, both he and the Joe. You speak the words Kangaroo Point, but it's only sound. If it triggers anything, it's of buildings, of streets, of friends or family who live there. You think of bridge climbing and jogging at the foot of cliffs where rock climbers scale the sheer tuff. You remember picnics at sunset, looking across the river to the botanical gardens. You remember visiting your beloved aunt in her room at Mount Olivet Hospital. Come, the voice whispers. I am a Joey without a pouch to crawl back into. I'm a Joey in the care of a boy. There are bones here, my mother's and mine too. Later, come, the voice urges, loud and clear. Find me.
It's been just a phenomenal experience collaborating with you on the project, The Storytellers. And every time I hear that body of work or that piece of work, it brings up so many emotions. What was the original, how did the story originate?
Just with the question, the question of why did Kangaroo Point have the name that it has? How did that name come about? Places and place names, I think, are really important and they're really interesting. And so it's a question, why Kangaroo Point?
Yeah, definitely that story has such a strong sense of place within it. Do you have a specific connection to Kangaroo Point, or I know you're from Toowoomba?
Yeah, a Toowoomba boy, and my father grew up in Toowoomba, but my mother is a Brisbane girl, and her grandfather was a bridge builder, and he was the chief steel engineer on the Story Bridge. So he migrated from Canada. It's a story of migration, like so many, like all of our stories, except for those of the first Australians. A migration story, and he came out from Canada having built a bridge very much like the Story Bridge. So that's the personal connection to the place and the area.
That's so good to know, because I know within the exhibition there's a tiny little painting of the Montreal Bridge.
Exactly.
And from your personal collection.
It is, and the Montreal Bridge, it's the Jacques Cartier Bridge in Montreal, and like the Story Bridge, it's a steel cantilever bridge which has those two shoulders, that we know so well whenever we look at the Story Bridge. And if ever you get a chance to go to the St. Lawrence River in Montreal and to stand on the banks and to look up at the Jacques Cartier Bridge, you just think to yourself, I know that bridge. That's the Story Bridge. They're so similar.
Yeah, amazing. Nothing is really original though, is it? No, except for this story.
We all stand on the shoulders of giants.
Yeah, we do. Was there any particular fact or something really interesting that you discovered through this process of research?
One thing that was new was learning about the the Shooter's Code of Practice. There's actually a Shooter's Code of Practice, which is very, very detailed, and it's a code of practice that operates now and regulates how marksmen and women must shoot and ensure that kangaroos and their young are dead rather than to be left alive and suffering. So learning a little bit about that process as it operates now, and thinking back in time to when possibly the last kangaroos used to live and graze around Kangaroo Point, and the ways in which the people used to shoot and hunt them, went about their business was really interesting.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. I mean, I think with this project, it's been so collaborative. One of the most exciting parts of the exhibition was your sort of newfound partnership or collaboration with Todd Fuller, the animator. Did you want to give us a little bit of insight into that?
Look, I just want to thank you for making that happen, for putting that together. That was one of the creative highlights of my life. It really was. Working with him was extraordinary, and he took the story that I wrote and created a 25-minute animation, which is here in the exhibition, and the animation is so beautiful. Todd has brought the sort of sensitivity that I could only dream that an artist could bring to this work, and he really did. And he has a particular style of sketching in charcoal and then erasing what's been sketched so that there's an echo on the page of what is drawn, and then taking image after image after image to create this animation. And it's such a beautiful, beautiful piece.
Yeah, it's definitely something that you need to see to believe, isn't it?
It really is. No, it is. You lose yourself in it. It's just wonderful.
You do. Well, thank you, Simon, so much. We're really, really more than grateful to have you here today with this interview, but also your contribution to the museum and the city, and what you're doing is truly fantastic.
It's been a wonderful opportunity, and what a museum. It really is a modern exhibition. So thanks very much for that.
No, all good. Thank you so much. And we'd like to thank StBEIF's Energy Fund as well, because without them we wouldn't be able to do this fantastic exhibition.
No, absolutely. I've raised my champagne glass in a toast as a way of saying thank you too.
Excellent.